Hey, everybody. Welcome to another edition of NetHeads. And this week, the NetHeads app of the week, whatever we're calling this, is Todoist. As a matter of fact, this is the one that when we decide to actually do things ahead of time, we use to plan out our very own show. Isn't that right, Trent?
Yeah, Todoist.
Yeah, we use that. And it's really great, too, because I can create, like categories and subcategories under things. So when I do the show planning, I can actually take that and I can build out the whole thing. And then the cool thing is all I have to do is assign it to Trent and he gets a copy of the entire list just like that.
I'm good to go.
Yeah. And then best of all, too, they have, mobile apps, obviously. It works on the iPad, the iPhone, Android. It's available for all of them. Not only can you create and manage the list there, but like if you're doing it the way we're doing it, using it as a live talk show checklist, you can just press the thing and it vanishes away. We've talked about it. It's gone.
Don't worry about it. It's over. It's gone.
It is. Exactly. Don't dwell in the past.
Yeah,
Trent.
dude, just move on.
Exactly. Move towards the future because,
head towards the light.
Trent, let me tell you something. Whatever horrors lay before me pale in comparison to that which is behind me.
It's so true. It's especially in the bathroom.
Whoa. That's a totally different app conversation altogether. So anyway, folks, this week NetHeads app of the week Todoist. Check it out if you want. If you don't, we really don't care. We just do this because when we do this and we do video as well, it all we need a live in anyway, right, Trent?
Yeah, like sometimes that's all I'm trying to do is get it in.
Oh, here we go. With clever meme, with funny tweet, I'll never leave my office seat. Those who think they know what's right, listen on Sundays to NetHeads, all right?
You've got to throw some cold water on this situation. Start talking about nerd stuff.
Nerd culture is mainstream now. So when you use the word nerd derogatorily, it means you're the one that's out of the zeitgeist.
System activate. This is NetHeads with Will Wilkins and Trent Hunsaker. It's a tech podcast. But we are a ton cooler than your typical geek, giving you the info you need to achieve mega nerd status. NetHeads.
You guys rock.
And now, here's Will and Trent.
That's right, everybody. It's Will.
And Trent.
Hey, you're in there, buddy. No, it's not you screaming in the background anymore, my friend.
No, I'm right here.
You are.
I'm used to it.
Yeah, I'm here too. Welcome. If you want to join us live, whenever the hell we do this live, smodcast.com, right, Trent?
That's right.
Only at
smodcast.com.
There, now we have a new way to do that. So now all I do is I say only at, and you go.
It's smodcast.com.
There we go. Perfect.
Yeah.
I think that's enough rehearsal. We should start the show now. Oh wait.
Okay. Oh shit.
We're
again.
Actually last week. I think last week's show went out as a video, but still hasn't gone out as a podcast.
Right.
And that's my fault. As a matter of fact, yesterday I've alluded to another project that I work on that sometimes takes me to Palo Alto.
Right.
That happened again yesterday. I thought it was just going to be a 3-hour tour. It turned out to be an entire day of work, and so that kind of blew the other things I was going to do away. It messed up the whole schedule. So today didn't get to that yet because I'm still working on another issue, which is why our pod said. But the video's out there if you want to watch it.
Yeah. Just on our YouTube channel.
Or if you want to ignore it, which, by the way, too, there's a beautiful moment right before the show started where Trent just he asked a question, and it was a very simple one, and it's just one of the ones where I didn't want to say the straight out answer because it just seems so absurd. But it's like, okay, so wait, I just want to make sure I'm clear. The NetHeads on Air email account has absolutely no connection to the YouTube account.
Yes. Yep. That is correct.
That is correct, Trent.
That is correct, sir.
I will tell you now that if you can get to the point of managing the YouTube channel that is connected to whatever God account it is connected to, there's a little button in there, just so you know, called Creator Studio. You click that, and you can start a live Google Hangout through YouTube.
Okay.
And this one is not. I don't think it's going to be branded like Hangout or Google in the left-hand corner this time.
Yeah.
And by the way, I got to tell you too, Doug Hoxter, he's D Fresh 23 or Dougie Fresh or
Dougie Fresh.
What is he on Twitter? Which one is it?
D Fresh.
Yeah, something like that. He has been putting together. If we can get to the point where we're running the that one piece of software we were fooling around with, if we can get to the point where we're running that in studio, he has already got like snazzy lower thirds for us.
Oh yeah.
Live channel branding logo. I mean, what he did is really cool, man. It's like
He's the man.
It's the NetHeads logo right in the middle of the lower third, and then beneath one side it's my name and my Twitter handle, and then your name. I mean, it's for a guy that doesn't do work in television, very well produced.
Well, he does, dude. He doesn't need to work in television. He works online.
There you go, man. Working on the NetHeads. That's what he does, 24/7, day and night, 365, baby.
So he's putting like at least 22 more hours into it than we do.
Days even, my friend.
Yeah.
We've actually, this is one of those shows we've planned absolutely nothing, but but that's what happened. So we tried to go early, and then we just got caught into some technical glitch of doom where
on multiple angles.
It was actually kind of interesting. Now, first of all, this is a great experience because there are a few things I wanted to talk about, Trent. We'll do the Trent tech. We got to do the Trent tech.
Right.
But there are other things I want to talk about. Some of them I want to talk about revolve around the user interface.
Oh, yeah.
Because a lot of companies have made major changes to their user interfaces, and I don't think it's going so well.
Yeah.
That's just me. By the way, folks, if you want to take part in our program while it's live or even after the fact, you can one of many ways. One of them, Twitter. Trent, how do they do that?
Well, you can be like, friend of the program, Bob Williams and Mr. Brad Raven. Just use the hashtag NetHeads. Oh, and Z Digital 13. What's up, buddy?
Yeah,
and,
nice to see him
then
on.
We'll chat back with you, or we won't. We don't know.
Definitely. So after yesterday's shenanigans, by the way, also you can give us a call. You can. It's easy. Easiest way if you've got Skype. It's NetHeads on air, all one word. It looks like NetHeads on air. Really? NetHeads on air. Mayor Beertown says, "Am I awake for this, or is this a dream? Believe me, this is nobody's dream, sir."
Yeah, it's just a nightmare.
Actually, that's not true. If there were giant trucks of money backing up to my home and to Trent's home right now because we were sitting here doing this, this would be a dream.
Yeah, absolutely.
It would be a dream come true.
Yeah.
Not happening right now, though.
No.
So anyway, I forgot what I was talking about. Oh, if you want NetHeads on air via Skype, you can also pick up a telephone and call, though. If you're in the continental U.S., 866-610-9455. Last but not least, YakBet9020. There you go.
Yeah.
That the international people dial the code and then figure out how to spell it. That's all the whole hand-holding we're going to do, trying to let you talk to us. You decided to listen to this for whatever reason, so we're comfortable with the fact that you want us to talk to you, which we're going to do now.
Yeah.
So after yesterday's shenanigans, I haven't gotten our podcast done yet, and I just wanted to go early because I'm happier early. No, right?
Just an early release every time.
Well, that's why I thought it was a fun joke to say that we were coming early, but then we didn't really. I mean, now all we are is a little early for the time we're usually.
And then
late for.
We were gonna come early, and then it took like so long to get it worked up. It wasn't even worth like coming at all.
It was like we had Coke Dick or something.
Yeah.
Is that a dated reference?
No, it's I think it's still a thing, but I think it's
Whiskey
more,
Dick.
Yeah, Whiskey Dick. Yeah, because it's legal.
More common vernacular.
Probably. Or some weed cock. I don't know if that's a thing. I just made it up. Weed cock.
I don't really think it is. I don't.
Well, I'm willing to experiment for science.
Well, now that I can get behind, sir.
Yeah.
So we're all for it. So if anybody wants to volunteer to have,
I would put you
hold on
behind.
a second.
I would be the power bottom, I think, in that relationship.
No, I don't want to be involved in this particular experiment. I think if you shut up a second, you'll hear me say something you'll really be happy for, which is if there are any volunteers that would like to have sex with Trent,
Hey.
can do so.
Let me know.
Just please, you also have to show up with free weed because
Yeah,
it's needed
it's
for
for science. And then also, I need you to sign a waiver because we're probably going to film it.
Just a little, it'll be on air.
Well,
It's
I don't
for
know. I don't know.
science.
We'll see. Well, maybe we're doing this wrong. Maybe we need to be doing this on Chatterbait, and then people can like go ling 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 and like give us tokens as we're going. Or like, so like every 20 tokens means a butt stuff reference or something along those lines. I don't know. I'm just throwing things out here.
I'm just spitballing, folks.
Yeah, we don't know where it'll end, but we'll see.
Which, by the way, you pay a few more tokens, you can see some spitballing. I'm just saying.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Maybe some snowballing as well. You never know.
We don't know. We don't know. The tokens will tell.
Yeah, that's what the science will dictate.
Uh-huh.
But barring us entering softcore pornography, Trent, actually, that really sounds kind of hardcore to me.
Yeah, that's we might as well be gaping at that point.
Ooh. Anyway. I didn't want to get into that, but I realized, and I talked about it last week as well. I am much happier earlier in the day on Sunday than I am later on Sunday.
Oh yeah, totally.
By the time it rolls around to 6 o'clock here, and it's amazing, even starting mere 40 minutes earlier than we normally would, my demeanor and my attitude is much happier because I honestly think that 6 p.m. is the worst dividing line to pick for your evening.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because it's over. Your weekend is over at that point.
Yeah, it's everything after the program is everything I need to get done before I have to go to sleep and get up to go to work.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. Exactly.
And by the way, folks, if you're one of those people that listens to a podcast, if this actually gets published, and you're like, I don't even have a job to bitch about, you selfish prick. Believe me, I am appreciative of the fact that I have work. I'm not belittling. I'm just saying that I'm a much happier person sitting behind this microphone earlier in the Sunday. Like, honest to God, I feel like one of the best times would be around 2 o'clock on a Sunday.
Yeah, 2 would be great.
2 o'clock. Doesn't that sound nice?
Yeah.
I don't. It's just you've never met anyone for anything bad at 2 o'clock on a Sunday, right?
No, I don't think so.
No,
unless you're in church, then it could get real bad.
Yeah, exactly. Then it's nothing. I don't think.
No.
Okay. Anyway, so that's why we tried to start early, and I'm still happy with the results. I'm still
so am I. Yeah.
I also got to tell you right now, after we went all through those technical glitches, the cool thing is this is going live out on our YouTube channel. So we are officially not the total. You're not tied to the total grumpy old man with the blinking. Okay, we decided that a blinking VCR is too outdated.
It's too dated. People don't get it anymore.
What was it? The microwave. It was the microwave.
The
microwave's not set. There we go.
Because that's still a thing.
Yeah, the microwave's just at 0, just like my intelligence level.
Yeah.
So
and you'll have to reset it every time the power goes out.
Exactly. But not in this case. So now we know the proper path to get this out the way we want, which is great. Yeah, and you would think it wouldn't be such a mystery, but Trent, this is one of the things I did want to talk about. And we can do Trent Tech first, or we can do it now. It's up to you.
Yeah, I don't care. Whatevs.
All right. Well, in this case, let's before we get into the Trent Tech, I want to talk about another side of tech that I find interesting because it's getting kind of because it's frustrating for me because I have crossed that threshold where I don't want to learn anything new anymore.
It's not that you're not capable.
It's just that apparently I'm getting set in my ways, as they put it.
Yeah.
But like, for example, user interface used to be a lot simpler before we have added so many levels of complexity. For example, as you so succinctly put it earlier, we actually have a Gmail account that has no connection to our YouTube account at all.
Right.
In trying to this today is the first time successfully in 3 weeks we have been able to broadcast this through our YouTube channel.
Yes.
All of these things are because of what I would almost call non-intuitive nature that user interface seems to be taking.
Right.
Now, you may not think, okay, these are new things, they're new navigational things. So you would say, all right, I can see maybe, Will, why you'd have a problem with that, right? You could.
Yeah.
Now, here's one that I think should baffle the world. We should all still be shaking our heads trying to understand this, unless, of course, as I've said, I'm at that point in my life, I'm just unwilling to learn anymore. I don't think, I really don't think that's the case. I still like playing with gadgets. I like troubleshooting things. I don't think I'm set in my ways. But,
Right.
you know, you'll be the final judge and jury in this case. You are my Judge Dredd, Trent.
No, I think the audience is.
Okay, you're all my Judge Dredd.
I'm just Rob Schneider.
I'll take it. I'm happy with it as long as you're there with me, buddy. So, so here is the one that I think should amaze everybody, because a company that has been very well known for well-established intuitive interfaces, I think over the years you would say pretty much would be Apple, right? They've been pretty good about that. Now I'm going to bring up the point where everybody is going to, I'm pretty sure everybody is going to agree with me. What the fuck have they done to iTunes?
Oh, dude, from day one, iTunes has had major problems. You know what I mean? It's never been a solid program, and then it just every upgrade it gets worse and worse and worse. And holy shit, have you ever tried to browse anything on iTunes?
Trent,
Oh.
do you mean of your own stuff or what they're offering?
No, what they're like if you try to go through like featured webcasts or anything like that and just like go through whatever they've got, you'll scroll down for like, you know, half a page, and then it just freezes and you have to wait for it to catch up to itself and then go again. Like, it's taking so much data to just, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Everyone hates it. You're right. Everyone hates it.
I get you. Yeah. And it's true. Look, case in point, my wife has been asking me to put Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1, the mixtape, all the music.
Oh, so good.
Right. Into her library so she can get it on her phone, right? So she can listen to it. Because, you know, earlier today, she put that movie on, not to watch it, but because the soundtrack is so good.
Just the soundtrack's so good.
Yeah, and it is an enjoyable movie. It's not every major motion picture where the front and center lead says, I have a little pee coming out of me right now.
Yeah, right.
Right? I've never heard Harrison Ford say that.
Yet.
No, not yet. I haven't heard Tom Hardy say it yet. By the way, too, Trent, I don't mean to pre-program you in any way, but when you do finally get to see Mad Max Fury Road, you have to tell me if you think that every single bit of Tom Hardy's dialogue in that movie is ADR'd. You know what ADR is, right?
Like where they go back and redo it.
Yeah, where they do additional dialogue recording later.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like not unlike Exorcist, the entire film was ADR.
Yeah, see, and I think they had to do that with Tom Hardy in that movie because everything he says is so clear. I mean, it's too clear,
especially for the setting they're in.
Well, and what I'm thinking maybe he went one way with the character's voice, and then maybe the director later thought he wanted it a different way.
Let's do it a little, a little something different.
Which I could totally get, but for me, it was just it one of those things that nagged at me. Anyway, that was not the topic I was discussing. Forgot what I was talking about.
But relevant though, always.
Yeah, user interface, because if it doesn't sound right, the audio interface is off.
Right, exactly.
That's a poor way to tie it together.
Anyway. I made it. It worked.
So my wife has been asking me to get Guardians of the Galaxy into her iTunes. That part was easy. Just, put it on your computer, go to iTunes, go import to library, and boom, it's in there, right?
It's there, yeah. Should be.
The trouble happens when first she wants to start verifying that they did come in. That they were imported in the library.
Oh,
right?
Sure. Okay.
So that was the first problem, just being able to find out if the songs were in her library. Now, one level that was a little complex, because as responsible parents, right now my daughter Emily, her iTunes is my wife's iTunes. So my wife sees every app that gets put on the phone, you know, everything. And every bit of music that's on the phone. There's no surprises.
Right.
So to save my wife's sanity, she has 2 playlists that she puts music on. So that way she only gets her music and doesn't have, the Pitch Perfect 2 soundtrack on hers.
Even though it's fantastic, I'm told.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's amazing. Actually, speaking of which, non sequitur theater.
Yeah.
This isn't non sequitur, though. It is topical. I actually heard in the Serious Hits 1 Top 45 or whatever it is they do, there's an actual a cappella song, I think, right now, which is like it's like Good Night Sleep or something like that, a Good Night Love or something,
like acapella, like Boyz II Men R&B style acapella, or
but pure acapella.
Okay.
Still not like old R&B good,
Yeah, but you've got a dude doing a bass line in the back going yeah.
No, not that cool. But still good. It's a good song.
Yeah.
I just was shocked there was actually an acapella in anyone's top anything.
Right. Yeah. That's not like, the acapella digest.
Right. So getting back to it, first we had a problem. So then we had to figure out. I knew that we set up this situation with the playlist on my wife's iPhone to save her sanity. Then was the problem of just getting to her playlists, being able to view them. And then the last thing was we didn't remember which playlists they were. So we had to look at the setting on the iPhone. Now, mind you, first of all, when you load iTunes, unless you choose as an option, that familiar left-hand side navigation isn't there anymore.
Right. Yeah. Unless you go in and tell it to go back to it.
Yeah. Now, pretty much ever since we started connecting iPhones to iTunes, there would be a left-hand navigation, and you would click on the phone icon.
Yep.
And then on the right-hand side, you would have the settings to go through with the different tabs for the settings.
Right.
Years they trained us for this. My wife hooks up her iPhone. I'm like, okay, we'll go here. She clicks on it.
Nope.
But we're not getting that option. We're able to look at everything that's on it, all the music, the apps, and everything. Not getting what we want. So, and it literally, we go through, I think, about 10, 15 frustrating minutes before I look up top and I notice there is a phone icon up along the top area where I could also choose between my music, my playlist, and everything else.
In your pod. Yeah, exactly. Yep.
And click that, and there's finally the area that I'm used to getting.
The one that was one click away, right top left, as we've been trained to do for years and years, called reading.
Kind of. So you're saying it's just me?
No, I'm saying like that's like good UI, especially anything that's on a screen, should be set up like a book.
Mm-hmm.
We read top to bottom, left to right.
Right.
When you deviate from that,
right,
that it just intuitively creates problems.
Well, and that's the thing. Well, the icon, the original one that I would have gone for, that they trained me to use time and time again, wasn't the right one anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
That's just bad UI, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. And I mean, and this has been a problem with this new version of iTunes since, oh gosh, it's been out for like 3 years now, and it's still the worst.
Yeah, ever since they made that major revision, and you actually had to go in and adjust your settings and mess things up, just in order to not mess things up, but adjust your settings just to get back the nav that you're used to on the left-hand side. Give me that book spine of a nav tool that you've trained me for.
Yep,
where is it? It's gone.
Yeah.
Can I just mention again how glad I'm not on an iPhone anymore?
Well, and that's the thing. Like I believe that their whole focus is based around mobile usage, and so anything that then has to almost be thought of backwardsly to put into a browser or into a desktop, they just forgot what they used to do really well.
Yeah, they've completely abandoned that. And the thing too, everybody is thinking mobile. That's the way everybody thinks now. I mean, I can't even tell you how many different mobile optimized pages I've gone to where if my window size was below a certain resolution, even if I'm on a computer,
it just switches right over.
It switches to that mobile menu we're used to. There's some straight lines stacked here. Let me click that. Oh, there's my menu. It's like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, seriously.
But you look at Windows 8 and Windows 10, and yes, everything's being geared for surfaces and touch and mobile. And that's fine. But I got to say, if you are using a touchscreen Surface, Trent.
Oh yeah, dude.
As a matter of fact, that thing that I talked about, it's in case anybody is in the Palo Alto area. If you go to the Oshman Jewish Community Center, there's a specific area in the main courtyard next to the cafe where there's the Jewish Sports Hall of Fame of Northern California. It's a digital one. And it is right now running on a computer that is running Windows 8. So it's a big touch screen as well, because it's a digital, it's a digital Hall of Fame. But you can click and then play the videos of the people that have been inducted, if you will.
Yeah.
And amongst many other things. But I got to tell you, having a big 42-inch touchscreen with that Windows 8 interface,
it's nice, isn't it?
It in that respect, very intuitive. And would say,
it makes a lot of sense.
And I would say good UI. Now, the only thing that does frustrate me is when I am on a desktop computer and I have to get back to the desktop that I've been trained to use for so many years.
Yeah.
That part's a little frustrating, and some of their integration is wacky. Like if somebody were trying to, which they're not, reach us NetHeads on air via Skype. Right now, there's 2 different versions of Skype, I think, running on that particular computer that's been upgraded to Windows 10. I think there is a system-based Skype, and I think there is a desktop version of Skype. If that makes sense.
No, you're right. There's a desktop version, and then there's the app, like the Windows app version.
Right.
And you're very limited in the app version.
Right.
You can't change, you know, like when we podcast and use Skype, I'll go in and make it so it's not automatically trying to adjust my voice levels or anything like that. In the app version, you can't adjust stuff like that. It's very dumbed down. It's very simple.
Mm-hmm.
And seriously, when I first upgraded to Windows 8, it took me forever because I'm like, what the hell? And then someone online was like, oh, well, you need to download the desktop version. I had no idea that there was, you know, because in my mind, a fucking app is just, it's a program. It's software.
Yes, it's nothing complex. It's
like
just...
we only started calling programs apps when phones came into play.
Yeah, come on now. And that is, I swear to God, it is so frustrating.
Like it's a marketing thing. You know what I mean? Like that we now call programs apps.
Yes. Yeah, but and if it's the app, it should be the condensed version of it that's running somewhere else, not here on my computer.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
But that's not the case. So it's a little frustrating, to say the least.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
And Trent, and which brings us all the way back to the very beginning of the show. One of the basic issues, Trent had something that conflicted within Windows 10, and it took him 4 different restarts to get a stable environment because of the wonderful enhancement they put out with Windows 10, which is what, Trent?
Yeah, so like if your computer freezes, it wants to help you out, and so it says, "Oh, you encountered a problem. We'll restart it for you."
Well, gee, thanks. I didn't want you to do that.
And
Dick.
I think, okay, that's fine. And then it tries to restart, and it is just still frozen. So then I have to turn it off, turn it back on, and it says, "Oh, I see you encountered a problem. We'll restart it for you."
At which point, then I am in the infinite loop of suffering.
But I think on the 3rd or 4th one, it reset. It finally took and went through. But Jesus.
Yeah, and then our lovely live room here, it just kept not really letting Trent join anymore, and we had to bail on it.
Yeah, and come and like create a whole new thing.
Yeah, we did. Not only that, we created a new one, and then I think both of us. Because, you know, the one thing about broadcasting this way is right now we're just going through a web interface. So we both literally exited out of all of our windows. To
closed everything that was running on my computer.
By the way, that fracking cat on Twitter wants to know what kind of microphone I use. It is a Shure SM27. It's I got to admit, it's one of my favorite microphones because you can really cut the top level off. So, you know, I can have a room I can have a studio in a room in my house, and it's not too bad. But your audio is trimmed very well as well. Trent.
Yeah, and I'm running, and this, it's kind of cool. I've got a Samsung that has a couple of settings on it that let you cut off different ends of your audio. So that's what I've done. Like, because my desktop has got a bazillion fans in it, and if it was just no settings, you're getting what's ambient, you wouldn't even be able to fucking hear me.
Right, right. By the way, Trent, another thing about that Jewish Sports Hall of Fame, we were putting in a new screen, and it's amazing to see the way technology changes in a very short period of time. 4 years ago, when we put it in, the state-of-the-art outdoor ultra bright television that was all weather with a touchscreen was 100% grade A, I think, American steel encased.
Holy shit, that sounds awesome.
This thing is like over 150 pounds, to say the least.
Holy shit.
42-inch screen, but still, it was really cool. Got replaced with a TV that, for an all-weather sealed ultrabright TV, looks like it could be the exact same one that was on your entertainment center.
See, isn't that like in 4 years?
Yeah, and not only that, it's just as light. It's crazy, but it's all completely sealed up. So we put that new one up, but then you got the problem of what do you do with the old one, right?
Right. Yeah.
So now I've got to. Now I actually have to commit to fixing up my backyard because I got a 42-inch outdoor touch screen. That's got to be the centerpiece of something cool.
Oh,
right?
dude. Yeah. I mean,
because we already know it's gonna be a multimedia computer running Windows 10 because it's, again, touchscreen.
I was gonna say, like, I would want to put it on a swivel or something so that then you can at least face the have it face the swimming pool, so you can have like some water aerobics going on. You can just,
wait
you
a
know what I
minute.
mean?
Trent, now that you mention that, the way my house is built, off of the deck or off of the back of the house, there is a deck. You've seen it, right? It's
yeah.
But it's more like it's a gigantic half of a gazebo that's
like it goes out. Yeah.
But so between the trellis work that makes up the I guess roof or ceiling of it, if you will, and there are these 4x4 posts that go all the way up. So I could literally mount this thing on a swivel, like you said, so it could either be showing into the deck, with the sun behind it, or you can turn it around and it's facing the pool.
Oh, see?
Look at you, Mr. Engineer, figuring stuff out. It's pretty cool, and it's an all-weather thing, so it's meant to sit out there. Let it bake.
Yeah, no, see that would be the way to do it, or even like on a hot day when you've got like, and you want to cool off a little bit, but you don't want you just don't want to sit and prune in the pool. Do something while you're out there watching. Throw on some Guardians of the Galaxy.
There you go. Well, and please, whatever you do, don't put on the pornography.
No. I mean, unless kids are gone. And just,
the only problem with that configuration you're mentioning is now I need to have an all-weather case to also put the multimedia computer in.
Right, but it would,
Whereas if I were just mounting it on the wall outside the kitchen, it could just be on the other side. I could even cut between the 2x4s there. That 16 inches.
Yeah.
Make that an
encasement. It's there. Yeah.
Just making an encasement with we've already got a picture frame that's a chalkboard that is shaped like a gigantic coffee cup. It could be behind there.
Yeah.
Well, then again, you know what? Cables go a long way, don't they?
That's true. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You could just run an HDMI cable out there.
Yeah, and as long as it's actually the pole that pivots and not the screen itself, so the whole thing rotates.
Yep.
I could have the wiring come down in.
Yep.
All right, sold. We'll figure it out. You're gonna help me come out and install this, right?
Yeah, I'll come out and I'll bring a drill.
It's so heavy. I think we're gonna need. You got an engine lift too?
Yeah. And I'll be honest, my lifting capabilities are kind of impeded right now. So
yeah, as we noted last week, first YouTube I've ever watched where I actually can pretty much ID the moment my buddy popped his hernia out again.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh shit, squeeze it back in."
Yeah, so don't the hunching over or whatever it is you did last week. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Thankfully, I haven't been terribly funny, so we haven't endangered you that way.
Yeah, I appreciate curving things in for my health.
That's what it is.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was just my rant. I just feel like good UI is kind of in flux right now.
Well, and I think a lot of it has to do with people are willing to sacrifice good UI over like what it can do for them. Do you know what I mean? They want speed and capability rather than usability.
I guess so. But I don't want it that way. I want it to be be good. I want it good and usable, god damn it.
Yeah. Well, and I think I would assume the more you have how do I put it? The more you have tech that's being that's not making the marriage between design in the sense of aesthetics and functionality. So if you have programmers who are hardcore programmers developing things more so than you do, say, like have a designer, an artist, that's you'll always run into that problem. And you know, with Steve Jobs passing, it's no surprise that things are starting to swing that way.
Yeah, definitely. By the way, speaking of which, earlier in the week, Trent, was the big announcement of Apple's, where they announced the iSurface Pro.
Right.
Which, by the way, the dude I met from Big Shiny Robot, what's his name? Dark hair,
Mark
I
Avo.
was just writing that tweet when he tweeted it, and I'm like, son of a... Not that it was an original idea, but it's true. In quite the un-Apple move, but yet in trying to really compete, I think, with the enterprise world is what they're doing.
Exactly. Yep.
They came out with, believe it or not, folks, a larger iPad that you can get a keyboard for. And if you're saying, God, that sounds a lot like a Surface Pro,
like a Surface
right.
Pro, weird. Yeah.
It is. Amazingly enough, it is. Look, I don't care who has it. I don't care which one is better. First of all, we know that the Surface Pro is probably going to be more economical. So good luck with your overpriced iPad, you dumb
Which is
assholes.
crazy because the Surface is already expensive. Like, it's pretty pricey.
Well, where is it at?
Let me check right now. I want to say
I know companies are starting to roll them out in replacement for laptop hardware now.
$700 is the cheapest one you can get.
Okay, well, and that's kind of in line, I think, with their big iPad. I think that starts at 1,000 or something stupid. I don't know.
and then the Pro 3 with the bigger processor is $1,400.
See, and any of these things, none of them have value for me unless I can solidly edit, definitely audio, maybe video on
right. Well, and that is like, that's their big push, is that, you know, it's one OS now, you know what I mean? So you can, that's their big push, is that you can get your Adobe Audition and it will work on your Surface the same, in quotation marks, as it would on your desktop.
Well, and this all goes hand in hand with the licensing and use philosophy that Adobe also has with the the Creative Cloud now.
Cloud, yeah. So now you just have a subscription, and then you have access to everything. You never have to buy a physical thing again. You just pay your subscription, and then you always have the most up-to-date version.
Well, my question is, when are we going to be at the point? Because I know it's coming. It's already happening in gaming. I used to work with a guy who is now, he's been working on the ability to stream. So all of the processing power is in a data farm somewhere, and you're able to sit at home with just your controller or whatever, and you're able to stream the video game experience to your computer with negligible latency, something you can't even notice, right?
Right, yeah.
So the ultimate combination is going to be where they do the exact same thing. So instead of using Adobe Audition on my desktop, on my Surface, I'm actually using Adobe Audition on a virtual machine. My file has already been transferred over there, and I'm getting all of the results in real time. Yeah. And at the point I can do that, I'm jumping on like a madman. But how are you going to guarantee me that it's secure in this day and age?
Right. Yeah.
That's no the way. Rub. Well, that's the reason why Apple is saddled, or, well, I don't know, saddled's the right term, saddled in a way. But it's definitely one way where they are less competitive, because right now, all of the alternative operating system watches, like my Pebble, for example, it's supposed to be an OS neutral device. However, because Apple has adopted their integration plan with messaging to where I could, let's say you're on an iPhone, I'm on an iPhone. I don't have my phone with me, or I've connected all my shit together. You could send me a message, go to my desktop, go to my iPad, go to my phone. It goes everywhere, right?
Yeah.
The problem with that is, obviously, now they've got some other type of Surface that's also running, or service, not Surface. Don't get confused.
But that's two different things.
Yeah, but they've got some integration with a cloud service going on there. And that's the reason why you can't just respond to text messages with a Pebble, for example.
Right.
Because they will not open that up to people and developers, because it's a window into their secure cloud environment.
Exactly. Yep.
So, security is a major issue. Tom K, TKT on Twitter says, my work has been using Surface Pro 3s as desktop laptop machines for the past 6 months or so, working quite well too. That's good to hear because, eventually I'm going to be looking for another portable solution, and I'm not necessarily saying my Mac is the way to go.
Yeah, well, and it's just, I don't know, it just makes a lot of sense. The way and the fact that they've, in brilliant marketing from the start, have been saying, keyboard is essential to this piece. You know what I mean? Like it's always the Pro click keyboard. You know what I mean? Like they've never wanted to divorce the idea that, oh yeah, then I gotta type things with my hands and blah blah blah. I'll be 100% honest, dude. I have major problems with touch devices, and this is gonna sound weird. My hands, I have hyperhidrosis, so my hands are always super hot and super sweaty. There's nothing
you get a lot of mistouches, alt types, and other things. You have
not even that. It's worse. If I hold something, a lot of times, say like if I'm holding my cell phone, just like you would normally, like you're gonna send a text, my hands are warm enough and the sensors are so sensitive, it picks up the heat from the back of the phone and just starts bugging out and going crazy. So there's nothing that I can even do. I just have to like set it down and then like do point and click one down.
Trent, I don't want to give you any ideas because I don't want to risk your health. However,
sure.
I think you are just mere steps away from like falling into a rack of chemicals when lightning happens and getting superpowers here.
Where I'm, yeah, instead of Iceman, I'm like Sweatman, and I just like spray like sweat just out of my hands all over people. Like, oh, it's salty and warm,
dude. No, we're waiting for you to become Hydro. You just like from your hands.
Yeah,
you're like, can you and people are like, hey, can you freeze that and write it? You're like, no.
I'm like, fuck you, you piece of shit. What do you think I am, Iceman? I'm not an alpha fucking mutant, just goddamn muties.
No.
Ruining this world.
And you know what? I'll use my power and get you with your mouth open. So watch it.
Yeah, you get it in the mouth. Ew, it's in my mouth.
Seriously, I think you could rob a bank with that kind of superpower. It's like, you got to sweat in my mouth.
It's in my mouth.
Right? Ew, that's horrible. What the hell were we talking about? I got so caught up with you.
No, but just like the Surface and everything, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Way to sum it up, buddy.
Yeah, the Surface and stuff.
Is that what we were talking about?
Well, just the fact that the Surface from day one has said, keyboard.
Yeah.
Like we have a keyboard just for this, and the iPad, from day one has kind of not wanted you to be, tied to a keyboard.
And let me tell you something too. Until they give us that day where we literally can just type on the Surface in front of us, and I don't mean like the Surface, but I mean like the table in front of us.
In front of it, yep.
And it still gets the keystrokes that we want. You're never going to go away from needing a keyboard.
So agree.
As a matter of fact, if you see anybody that is a power quote unquote iPad user, I guarantee you they got a Bluetooth keyboard.
Oh yeah, you have to. There's just no way. I don't see how it is.
It's the only way to save your sanity. The only way. By the way, did you also hear about their other innovation? A rechargeable pencil.
Wait, what?
It's a rechargeable pencil. Okay, look, years ago, up on stage, Steve Jobs basically said, "Styluses are the stupidest thing. We got fingers. What the fuck?"
Right? Yeah.
So for the Surface Pro, for what do they call it? The iPad Pro, I think.
iPad Pro, yeah.
For the iPad Pro, they've also come out with the pencil, is what they call it.
Not stylus.
No, they can't call it a stylus because their Lord and Savior Steve Jobs said stylus is stupid.
He also said, who would ever want to watch a movie on a 4-inch screen? That's ridiculous.
Dude, do you know how much Rick and Morty I've watched on a 6-inch screen? Okay. We don't care. We really don't care.
No. No, it's just we want what's accessible.
But they came out with a stylus, but they're calling it a pencil, and it's angular and pressure sensitive, so that way, it's even better than a Wacom tablet or whatever they're called.
Right.
But you do have to charge it. I think it's got the same type of lightning plug interface to get charged.
Oh, okay.
Or something. or at least I think that's what I saw. That may have been a picture, but case in point, they came out with a fucking stylus. They had to have a stylus because everybody sometimes look. I got to tell you, sometimes I just don't want to touch shit with my finger.
Yeah,
All right?
no, I agree. Or even like where you want to like you can be so precise with the stylus, whereas like I've got the mitts here, the sweaty mitts.
Oh God, yeah. By the way,
It's not gonna happen.
you fucking Van Goghs in those art painting games that you play with people.
Oh,
Like what was the one everybody was playing for the longest time? It's the sketching game. It's like it's like charades but with pictures.
Oh yeah.
Where you had to draw something. I think was.
Yeah,
the
I
name.
think it was just draw something.
Yeah.
That one where you sketch stuff.
Yeah. All you people, by the way, that have been doing like Van Gogh, like wonderful pieces of art, and expressionists and real life and all that other crap. We're not fooled. You're using a stylus on an iPad, you lying prick.
Yeah,
okay.
You have to be.
You're not drawing on that with your computer. On your little tiny mobile device. We know better. Don't lie to us.
Although, dude, man, I tell you, one time in the comic shop, I had someone pay for something, and I was using a Square Reader, and they went in and like did this awesome Spider-Man for their signature.
Oh no shit!
I was fucking blown away. I'm like, no, let me screen cap. Oh no,
it's gone.
It was really awesome.
That is. God, I'm sorry. Okay, well, maybe some people can.
But yeah, I know what you mean.
I mean, those are the few and far between. By the way, Trent, last night too, just a complete non sequitur, but there is a big valley fire going on right now. It's not near my house. It's more like near Calistoga, which is plenty of miles away. But apparently it rained last night, and there's so much ash in the air. My car ended up looking more like some type of white and blue mosaic.
Oh,
So, thoughts going out to all the people affected. And I'm sure in Utah, you guys must get some wicked fires too.
We did earlier in the month. Well, I guess in at the end of August, it was really bad from the Washington, the Washington, Montana fires. But then they blew straight north into Canada.
And just crop dusted them instead.
Yeah, there were days it was bad enough that I couldn't see 2 blocks down the street.
Ooh, yeah.
So bad.
One of the things you can see from my backyard is Mount Diablo. It's the only mountain I think in the area. I don't know. Anyway, you can see it, and today it literally looked like trying to look at it through a piece of tissue paper.
Yeah, and it's weird, right? Like. It doesn't feel real when you look out and see it like that.
No, and you always know that and this is weird too, but you do always know that there are fires going somewhere when it's sunrise and it's bright red, because just as it's cresting and it's breaking through those ashes, it has more of an amber hue than anything else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. Oh, totally.
Makes for a surreal and weird morning. Hey, anyway, we've really rambled a lot about tech, but we haven't. There's different kinds of tech in the world, folks. There's real tech news, and then there's my favorite kind of tech news, and that is the Trend tech news.
Yeah, Trend tech
news.
Trend tech
news.
Trend tech
news.
Trend tech
news. Just goes on forever, doesn't it? That sumbitch just don't stop doing it. Anyway, Trent, now that we've talked about the heady stuff and I've enraged. By the way, folks, I got 4 Apple computers in this house. It is not that I am not a fan of Apple. I'm just saying there have been many questionable choices. Yeah, exactly. They're slipping hard, Trent.
Slipping.
But Trent, if anybody is not slipping, it is Trent. So Trent, drop some serious science on us and give us the tech news from the real. So this is the underbelly of the tech. This is the Fight Club tech news. Folks. Yeah.
Be warned, people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I like porn as much as the next dude. Okay.
Okay. But
when porn apps hold you hostage, maybe you should have read the agreement.
Whoa. Wait a minute. porn apps can hold you hostage?
Oh, dude. Okay, so there was a over the weekend there was an app that launched called Adult Player, and supposedly it was just supposed to give you a bunch of free porn or whatever. And what it did is it would lock the device and take a picture, a forward-facing picture of the user, and then it would demand payment of $500 before the user could gain control again.
Oh my god!
And if you were gonna do anything, they were gonna they had access. You gave them access to everything. They would go in and say so and so is a pornographer, whatever, blah 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 blah. So they're getting it shut down, but apparently it was a big problem.
Well, luckily nobody called me for any tech issues over the weekend, so
Yeah.
I don't think you've reached my circle.
Oh yeah, Anyway, so they were.
Oh,
we got a call.
we do have a call. Should we answer it?
Yeah, might as well.
All right, let's take it. I'm hoping it'll work, but I've got no promises.
Yeah, we don't know.
So far, it's still just ringing and not actually answering.
Yeah. Do.
No, it's been answered.
Well, it's still ringing too.
There's multiple ringings then.
You
What's
hear it
happening?
too, right?
Yeah,
It
yeah.
won't
Now it's
stop.
off.
Ah, well, it's Ryan Connolly. Hello, Ryan. How are you?
Oh, we were probably hearing it.
That is.
Lag. I don't know. Who knows?
What? Who? Where?
Exactly. Oh, what's on your mind, good sir?
There's just been too many episodes of NetHeads without me saying hi.
Oh, okay.
It's true. It's true.
Hold on a second. I let me check at the roster again. I wasn't. Is it? I don't see Ryan on. You're not. It's. I see you and Trent. I don't.
Trent.
Wait,
Okay. Well, sorry. Well,
wait. You forget how long I've been part of this show. Well,
how could I? You yelled at me last week. You know, there's a certain point, by the way, where the audience just seems to get abusive.
Yeah.
With you, like last week, we weren't taking anything away from him, and when we were saying that somebody else had been with the show like for a long time, but
Yeah.
he had to point out right there on Twitter, man, he's been there since day goddamn one.
Yeah, motherfuckers. Pieces
Yeah,
of
well,
shit.
guess what? Let me tell you a little secret, Ryan. There's at least 5,000 other people that were there since episode 1 as well. I'm just saying. I'm not saying you're not special.
No,
just
you
saying.
are special, Ryan.
yeah,
You're a
I used
special
to get
spirit.
to school in a station wagon painted like a school bus. That's how special I am.
Only if you leave the house in a helmet.
Oh, am I hyper?
No, I didn't need the helmet. Just the station wagon painted like a school bus.
Take your word for it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, thank you for calling to say hello. We really appreciate it.
I just miss hearing your guys' voice live. So
Oh, okay.
Aww.
Well, you know, we put it out there. You can hear us,
Aww.
right?
I do listen. I do
He's at
listen
work.
after the fact, but
Oh, you mean if somebody actually publishes the podcast, you listen?
yeah.
Oh, okay, good. You know, I really hate to sound like that guy, but I really am almost at the point where I keep questioning if I should punt the file over to Trent and just let him mix it. Because,
Dude, I am not. It's not that. Sounds like a bad idea. My computer can't even fucking run itself.
Trent's just like, do you remember what we've been through earlier in the day already?
Remember where I couldn't like just run the computer?
Well, let's just say that the scope of my duties has changed.
True.
So
True.
there are times where doing things that didn't used to take a lot of time now take more time, and other things require attention. So it's just like it's one of those last things that I even think about. And I don't mean to shit on you, Trent, because I know you put time and effort into this as well.
No,
and I feel it's disrespectful in some ways if I don't put it out right away to you.
Sometimes I'm into like being shit on. It just kind of depends on how much I've had to drink.
Oh my gosh! Speaking of which, have you listened to the latest Edumacation?
No.
You need to, because you would not believe some of the dirty things some of our world's most literate people have written.
Oh, really?
James Joyce has an entire love letter to his wife or mistress or somebody named Nora. And he's talking about the beauty of her farts and how he can ID her in a room.
Yep, everything's back where it belongs.
Everything's back where it belongs.
Shit, Ryan's at work, dude.
I'm hanging up on him so he'll go focus back at work.
What if we got Ryan? Well, I mean, he get himself.
He just
fired,
got
but-
that fucking job. What is he, stupid? Yes, dude. After the fact, I'm telling you, if you're even hanging out anywhere near work and on the phone, you're stupid. Hopefully, he got the headphones and they just think he was crazy and talking to himself.
Oh shit, that's funny.
So that's amazing, though. A purported porn service.
Yeah.
This sounds like the weakest recreation of Red State I've ever heard.
It kind of, yeah, it kind of is, but yeah. So like, yeah, you put it on there, and then it takes control of your phone, and it's a new kind of, I don't know what it's called, cybercrime, I guess, but it's called ransomware. Is where,
and
yeah.
I'll tell you, it's not new because, and I won't say who,
right?
But somebody I knew had to come to me to say, "Could you please try and fix my computer?" And the virus was so nasty, Trent, that literally it took a low-level format of the hard drive to get rid of it or something. It embedded itself, or I had to go through really extensive steps to get the operating system working again, because then it just embedded itself, and that's basically what it did. It basically said, your system has been compromised, wire money here or you're fucked.
Yeah, or game over, man.
Yeah, so that was interesting, though. The funniest part about that, though, was the person admitting to me, yeah, it was because of porn.
Well, I mean, you don't need to ask.
No,
at that point, like,
I really didn't. I just
we know.
Instantly, I assume if anybody has come to me with a computer that's messed up, okay, and if it's really bad, I just instantly assume you clicked the wrong link.
Yeah,
you were looking for I don't know what. Yeah. It doesn't matter what your babysitter porn. I don't know.
Yeah,
and
typed
boom.
In, you thought Hotmail was still for your emails with
whatever.
MALE.
Ryan's now pointing out y'all hung up on me. Yes, to save your job, shithead.
Yeah, dude, you fucking. Or you're
we did it because we care. We did it
because
we care.
It hurts us a lot more than it hurts you.
Oh man! Anything else in the tree? That's a doozy, Trent.
Yeah, that one's a pretty good one. The other one is pretty awesome, actually. Like pretty good. Verizon is claiming 5G within 12 months.
Oh, I saw that. But well, hold on a second. Wait a minute. This is real tech news.
Yeah, dude.
I want to remind you, we're talking the Trent tech right now. Are you sure?
But dude, so the idea is, so this is 5G, standing for fifth generation, right? Of the next level in 30 to 50 times faster than the current 4G networks. Okay. Meaning you could get a 5 gig movie, whether it be Guardians of the Galaxy, whatever. You would download it in 15 seconds instead of 6 minutes in 4G.
Okay, but if I am in the middle of Sturgis, is that what it's called?
Yeah,
and everybody else is on Verizon around me as well. How 5G is my 5G?
I and on that one I'm not sure. I mean, projections for 5G were, for the industry, they were looking at like 2020,
right?
The year 2020, and now to say that they're going to start, the first tests within 12 months, that's crazy. It is,
and it's so great, and it's a bold game and a bold claim. But if there's any one thing we've learned, you got to do something to catch the infrastructure up.
Totally. Yep. And we're talking the last mile. We're talking the actual towers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The final point.
And the thing that honestly, like when I see something like that, seeing that you can download something that fast,
mm-hmm.
I just, in my mind, all I think of is overage charge.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, that's at the point, too, where once again, the entire money-making structure changes again. Because now
it will have to.
Yeah, because then you have to buy massive blocks of data.
So much, yeah.
Because at that point, too, they're not necessarily, they're really challenging home broadband at that point.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because I don't get that level of service here.
Yeah, exactly. So, oh, man, I don't know. It would, I don't know. And it is. They would have to redo it completely, because there's no way, like, and at that point, I'm assuming Comcast and everyone else is going to want us to put a sanction or something on them to keep them from competing as a utility.
Mm-hmm.
Which I mean, they already are. Like, it's a whole mess. But so anyway, just something to be aware of it and be following, because as that rolls out, the industry, it'll be the next jump in scrambling to try and be on top.
Yeah, and that'll be fun, and we'll see that AT&T will be behind the curve because, look, I'm sorry, no matter how many services they own and everything else. By the way, have you seen? I think it's Comcast's commercials for the AT&T DirecTV merger.
No.
Bringing you yesterday's technologies today.
Oh shit! Really?
Like perfect digital signal, unless there's rain. Or fog, or tree branches.
That's funny. That's really funny.
It is really good. And anybody that has had a DirecTV, those digital stutters, as I like to call them.
Or oh man, the worst for us was sticky snow.
Oh, I bet.
If because snow, it for some reason, a big snowstorm, you can still get your TV, but it's when it's sticky snow and it starts sticking to the actual
to the dish
itself. You just you prayed that it was in a place where you could go outside and throw snowballs at it until it would knock all the snow off.
Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that, brother.
Or even I had friends that would during this, right before the winter, they would go up there and put grease and oil.
Oh, it makes sense. That
so
makes
that
perfect
the snow
sense.
would just slide off. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then of course there's always somebody that's got to have like one of those barbecue warmers or something. They just straight up attach it to the back. I can see plenty of rednecks getting into trouble.
Oh, totally.
With their 1500 watt hot gun, hot air gun.
Yep.
And a very long pole and extension cables.
This will work. This will keep it warm.
We'll just duct tape it so it's always on. I can't see any harm.
Because I tell you what, I got to watch my NASCAR reruns.
Oh shit, son!
Coming from someone who enjoys NASCAR, I feel like I can say that.
Really?
Oh, racing it! I love all racing, dude.
Oh well, that's good. I'm glad you're consistent that way then.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So even women's triathlons, you'll watch that because there's some racing element involved. God, fair enough then. That puts a whole new paint job.
Yeah. If there's rubber involved, I like watching it.
Well, if I had $1 for every time I heard you say that, Trent.
Tell me about it.
I'd have me $5 whole. By the way, I got to tell you too, my buddy this will make you feel good because you're the guy that turned me on to it. But yesterday, during the 8 hours, I kid you not, Trent, and you're gonna say I completely believe this. During the 8 hours of time that we put in working on this, I kid you not, it was an entire 8-hour conversation. By the way, unexhausted about Rick and Morty.
Oh, yes.
Literally just going through all the episodes and the beautiful parts of them. And And the other interesting thing, though, Trent, and this is the last thing I wanted to talk to you about is, do you think Rick and Morty is actually an intellectual's cartoon? And I'll present two use cases.
Yeah.
There are two people in my friend's life that he showed the show to, and they just couldn't get into. They were easily confused. And I hate to sound in any way to say this in an arrogant way, but they are people that we would consider a little less bright than the rest of us.
Sure. Yeah.
And they were just confused. So I'm wondering, even though it is one of the lewdest and crudest cartoons you will find on cable TV, not pay, but on
basic cable.
It still hits some really heady subjects, I think, in many ways.
Yeah, and and that's what's so crazy. Like I've got the first season on Blu-ray and it has the commentary on it.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear how these shows are made, and you just think, how did you fucking idiots who are smoking so much goddamn weed,
Really?
just coming up with the most crazy shit that makes no sense. You're like, fine, we'll just do it, and then we'll see if they let us do it or not. Who knows? We'll see what happens.
That's how the first season came around?
Oh, that's totally how the first season happened.
Well, I guess that is how. I mean, one of the most shockingly uncensored things I have ever heard on Rick and Morty is when he is trying to figure out what the sex robot did, and he literally says, "Unbelievable! Oh, I think it touched one of Morty's loads."
Yeah.
By the way, too, once again, total recall. I have rewatched this episode from this season, the one where it's the mind worms that are. Have you seen it yet?
Oh yeah. Where his
the one with Mr. Poopy Butthole.
I was gonna say with Mr. Poopy Butthole, totally, yeah.
Right. My friend has a theory, by the way, that Mr. Poopy Butthole is the only parasite that got so entrenched he was able to get away with it.
Oh,
and
sure.
Escape.
Yeah.
I think not, only because of the way it ended as well. But let's not pedant these things too much.
Sure.
But I have watched that episode just time and time again, and I think for me it's the perfect embodiment of the absurdity of the show, yet the brilliance of the show. Because to spoil it for everybody else, if you watch that episode, this is the beautiful thing. The thing that saves them all is the realizing and the remembrance of the worst memories they have about themselves.
About each other, yeah.
So much so that at the end of the episode, one of the characters says, "Oh, this is so horrible. We're the only ones left." Because these mind worms put themselves in your memory and represent themselves as something else. So that way they can
as positive remembrances.
Yeah, and that's it. You only have fond memories of them because you want to keep them around. So,
yeah.
And Morty, by the way, his the memory he has that confirms that Summer is his sister is just her coming up and from the behind, kicking him square in the balls and just telling him to stay out of his room. And he's just like, I was never in there.
Yep.
Oh, how many siblings can relate to that, though, right?
Oh, yep.
So again, tonight, by the way, and this really tells you like who I am. Other people are like, it's today. It's kickoff, guys. We got football back and
football.
And other people are like, all right, baseball's still going. We're gonna watch baseball. And me, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like the Super Bowl tonight.
Every Sunday we get one.
Yeah, because Rick and Morty comes back.
Yep.
I was excited about that. Oh, also, I got partially excited because everybody talking about football in their timelines. I'm like, yeah, you know what? This time next week, we're all going to be talking about how great Doctor Who was last night. And you're all going to be sick of us. So suck
you're like, oh, fuck off, you Whovians.
Exactly. No, they will be.
Right, that's what they're going to be saying.
Okay, good. I want to make sure we're on the same page.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that. But there's something else that's starting tonight, too, and I forget what it is, that I was excited to learn that it was coming on as well.
Oh.
Anyway, folks, it doesn't matter. We've gone too long, and Trent, there is a crock pot roast that is just waiting for me.
I can smell it from here.
Trent, it's got a huge hunk of meat that has been rubbed with salt and pepper. There were 2 beef bouillon cubes that went in with a half cup of water. Then we got 4 potatoes that have been cut up tiny, along with the onion and the bacon.
Yes,
it's all just sitting there waiting for me, Trent.
Yeah, just think if you had hydrohydrosis powers, you could moisten it and salt it all at the same time with the rub.
I could have. Why didn't I think of that? Oh my God!
I don't know.
Next time I will have to have you over to prepare my meat.
Yeah, I will rub it down for you.
There is the title of the show. I will rub it down for you. Thank you, sir. And with that, we bid you further ado. So until next time, folks, if nothing else, remember, you can always find us only at
smodcast.com. At smodcast.com. Yeah, at smodcast.com.
I know.
Yeah.
This is NetHeads with Will Wilkins and Trent Hunsaker signing off.
I know, right? But stop being a little Nancy and deal with it.
NetHeads. We'll be back soon.
Goodbye.
This is NetHeads.
No, it's not. Smodcast.com.
I can't see. I can't see the buttons. I can't see the keys.
Dark.
I was
What do I do?
I was looking for this one.
This has been a production of Smodco Internet Radio. Sir, only at smodcast.com.
So I was looking for that one, and I just couldn't. Unlike many other times, or quite like many other times in my life, I just can't find the right spot.
Yeah. You know what? Sometimes you just have to mash it with your fist until you get it in the right place.
Trent, I gotta say, I think you've just revealed way too much.
Yeah.
Or more to the point, you've just answered a lot of questions.
Yeah,
people have been having for a while.
I was gonna say, I think I just might need to go have some self-reflection on that now, if that's my answer to a lot of things.
I think so.